Hi, it's Luke. Just gonna kind of make a quick video. I'm trying to go over two sets. The first set I'm gonna make, I use all the time. That's how I catch all of my squirrels almost, other than live catch traps. The next set I'm not so familiar with. Is kind of gonna be an experimental set. Wow, I can't talk. But basically what you're looking for, this is a fallen branch that I found over there. Right here, I don't know if you can see it from the angle. I'm filming by myself today, so I can't zoom in and move the camera. But big tree right here. I mean, this is going to be a tree squirrel feed in, store food, just do whatever squirrels do in trees. There's a little notch in this where this branch is in solid. Wind's not going to knock it over. What you need is a machete and a hammer, or if you just want to go out without the machete, if you don't have one, an axe works great because you can hammer with it as well. And two 110 conibears. Here's a 110. This is, I forget what it is. It's a Minnesota trapline products. It's a Bridger. I want to say a 150 or a 155. 155 might have a double spring though. I know the 160s have double springs, but I'm just going to try to show you something real quick. Maybe. Okay. Don't know if you can see it. See how much bigger the Minnesota one is? I like it. I mean, it's a lot better for muskrat, squirrel, I mean mink. I like it personally better, but that's my preference. Should have painted it up, but I grabbed it out of the box. So just to start the set, you're gonna need nails, and then like fencing staples. I don't have fencing staples, so I have something else that's gonna make do. And then shingling disc. That's going to be what's going to act as your stabilizer. So you're going to, here's my nail I'm going to use. I'm going to mark kind of halfway from, not necessarily the ground. I like it kind of right here. There's a notch here and there's a notch here. So I'm going to put my traps on either side of that so these notches are not going to affect my set. So halfway from there, about right there. So I'm going to take this nail, go ahead and hammer it in. There we go, that should be good enough. Then I have a really strong Nipix cutter. Let's see if I can cut this. This is a pretty thick nail. There we go. I cut it off at an angle. That way, that's going to be my centerpiece. I used to do a full ear right here, or a walnut or something, or a pear. Pears and apples work great too. I mean, if you have a pear tree or an apple tree, make use of the ones that fall on the ground. Here's a half ear. They'll go a lot longer. This is just kind of a visual. Then you're going to have your one 110 here and your other one right here. So I'll kind of show you. Grab the fencing staple. I'll grab two of them. I'm going to grab two of my smaller nails I've got. There we go. Put them in my pocket. One in my pocket. And the nails. Okay. And then I'm just going to go from the one point. Right here is where I'm wanting it. Kind of make sure it's on the most top point, that way it's not off to the side. Start nailing it in. Perfect. And I'm just gonna bend it up that way. That way you kind of can see the U. The U you're making, or the V I guess, is gonna be angled out from the branches. It's not gonna be angled towards it. This is gonna act as your stabilizer. Do the other one. same thing. Hammer it in. Perfect. Okay, and do the same thing. Next, I'm going to grab both of my 110s. I'm going to grab it and get it like I'm setting it. Okay. The trigger is always going to be, the trigger side is always going to be pointing towards your corn. So say I want this as my top trap, I'd put it up here. The trigger's on this side rather than this side of the trap. So they're going to be coming from this way, coming down. The trigger will be more inside. That will get them to commit inside of the trap a lot more before they set it off. But I'm going to go ahead and use this one down here. Get it. And then, okay, as I'm doing this, I am bending this down. I'll get it set, holding the trigger down, and then I'm just pushing these down. This is acting as my stabilizer. It's not the best stabilizer, but I mean for catching squirrels, it's your best bet. I've seen where people just use nails, and a lot of times you have to get this width perfectly, and otherwise they can just come and bump it and knock it down. So this way, I'm bumping into it. It's not falling down. It's staying where it needs to be. Go ahead and bend the spring down, and then you're going to take the ring, if you can see that, and can't think of what it's called, but it's basically for putting up wire when you're wiring a house. It's kind of the same thing as a fence staple, except it's got two little nails. I'm going to take that and hammer them kind of on the side of the tree, halfway, also not halfway, but kind of underneath too. Grab my hatchet. This will secure your trap, so when you catch something, it doesn't go off. A lot of times I will have the trap not set, because hammering this, if it's a very loose trigger trap, it'll set it off a lot of times. Okay, it's stabilized. So I'm going to grab my next one. Once again, kind of get it set. The trigger's like this. It's on this side, so I'm going to put it like this, bend the spring down, set it, hold it down, bend the stabilizers down. Okay, with this one, this is a brand new trap I grabbed out of the box. So I'm going to hold on, and I'm actually going to grab the springs and bend them a little bit because they're pointing too far that way. I want them to go in and commit, so I want them aiming out just a little bit this way. I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not without zooming in. That's basically about perfectly down the center. That's fine. So I'm going to go ahead and grab another one. Go ahead and hammer it in, stabilize it. Here you'll see I have brand new tags on. Always tag your traps, guys. I mean, it's the law, first of all, in your almost all states. Go ahead and hammer it in. Perfect. Okay. Basically I have my set, but I'm not quite done. What I do is, this is why you have the machete and hatchet also. First is cut the ear corn in half, so you have one half to make two sets. Next thing is, cut the corn into smaller pieces. You don't want a half piece, because that's basically as tall as this trap is. This is a little larger piece. I don't usually like them this large compared to like this, because I mean it's taking up a large area. I like them, the smaller the better, but this was really dry corn, so every time I tried cutting it, it would want to the kernels would want to fly off. So I'm going to go ahead, throw that in my pocket, and set this off. I'm going to bend the trigger so they're at a point. I'm going to go ahead and slip kernel of corn on, the piece of ear corn on I should say, and go ahead and set the trap like I'm making my set. perfect. That one's basically done. Have it centered, have it moved perfectly centered on the log. Go ahead and set this guy off. Grab the large one. Slide it on. Set the trap. Basically centered. There we go. Okay, this is basically done. The next thing I like to do, usually I don't do it. This is my first time, first day I'm trapping squirrels for the season. Usually I start in October. It's about November 5th, I believe. But I'm gonna grab, I have some old pear jam that was canned in 2016 I got from someone. Basically almost all gone, but it's taking up room in the fridge. Usually I use, one second. Usually I use peanut butter. I mean, squirrels love peanut butter, obviously, just like any sort of rodent. It's nut-based, but squirrels also love pears, apples, I mean, any sort of fruit. So this is what I do. I'm gonna scrape a little up. Usually this is peanut butter. And I will put it in that little groove you made with that fencing staple. This I love because it's not running anywhere. It's gonna start sticking there, and that scent's always gonna be there, especially with jelly or peanut butter. And I'm gonna do the same thing with this one. Put it right in that groove. A little more. Just watch out for the trigger when you're doing this. And then I'm gonna show you now. This is how I usually do it when I'm deeper into the season. I'm not catching as more. I'm having set off traps for some reason. Squirrels really are not that hard to catch, but this is what I usually end up doing. You will see there's a lip on this one and this one aiming, well, on both sides, but aiming towards this. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna grab a little scoop, and I'm just gonna set it right underneath that lip and kind of there. That way they might lick this, and they might not have much interest in the corn that moment, so they're going to continue to smell stuff and look for it. Well, they'll be coming through licking, and then they'll see this. Well, they will commit through more and bump that trigger and set it off. I mean, when my catches really slowed down in spots, I started doing that just to try new things once, and it really paid dividends in the end. I mean, I caught a lot more, and basically though, this is the set. If you wanted, you could grab some peanut butter or jam in this instance and rub it on here, but right now I will not. And that's basically this set. This set I will have a lot of doubles in, both of them be set off. I've caught a lot of possums when I've ran this set too, so maybe wait until actual trapping season. Squirrel starts in, I want to say October. It might be a little earlier in Nebraska, but I don't start going until October. But I would wait. It's November. Trapping season started the 1st of this month. So now if I catch a possum, it's not like I'm breaking the law. I'm not catching an animal out of season. I will be okay. I've caught possums and squirrels, I guess. That's about the only species I've ever caught. But I'll go ahead and shut the camera off, and I'll go ahead and get you to the next set, the experimental set I'm going to try, and I'll get back to you. Here's my next set. I have a set right up above this camera actually. This is a fallen tree, and it was a Y. This is a lower one, and then I have another set right there, just like the set I made back there. And I actually have another set I had set up from last year that I just had the traps hanging. But okay, what I have here is a ½ gallon milk jug, chocolate milk jug. What I did is I notched out the one side, and I might have that side pointed towards you guys actually. Yeah, I might have it like that. But that's going to be aiming towards the bottom on one of the sides, wherever. You don't want it up top, because what that's going to do is be a groove for the spring of the #1 long spring. So I'm going to grab my trapping stuff, trapping box. Grab a couple long nails out. Okay. I'm going to do it like this. One of the nails is going to go right through the back. That's going to be help to anchor it down, because this plastic's not going to stay. It doesn't want to stay already, and all there is a slight breeze. So go ahead and hammer that in. Okay, it's not wanting to hammer in very well, and I'm kind of bending the nail. So, I mean, it's not going anywhere. It's in there pretty good. So I'm just gonna leave it like where it is. And right here, I'm gonna put a nail right here because I can kind of see it. I'm gonna grab a smaller one, something that's gonna go in really easy. Perfect. Get over here. Don't know if I'll be in the camera angle or not. Sorry if I'm not. Start hammering in at an angle. Okay, it's in. Go ahead and just bend it down. It's hard to hammer at when you're hitting this, and then just hammer that head of the nail into the wood like that. This thing's not going anywhere. Okay, next, I'm just going to grab a little section from the box. Here's a bigger one, kind of an awkward one that I'm probably not going to run in another set. I'm just going to throw that guy right in the back there. Kind of wants to slide out, but I might just, this is what I'll do. Just going to take a nail, push it all the way back, and just poke it through. Actually, no, I'll just poke it right through. That way I can put this in and push the nail through it. There we go. So now this thing's not going anywhere. I don't know if you can see it through there. Basically what it's acting is like a holder. And so I'm going to take my other trap. Here it is. Go ahead and set it. Put it in a little bit. Kind of bend the spring a little more. This worries me. How it's kind of dropping off here. What I'm going to do real quick, I have the nails to spare. I'm just going to take a nail and hammer it in right up against it. Then I might put one right here too. Just a little ways down, so that way when I make my reset, I will be able to get it in the same spot. Just hammer it in a little bit. Okay, the spring's a lot more stable now. I'm gonna go ahead and grab, actually no, I'll leave that there. And I'm gonna grab a little thing to stabilize the chain. I'm gonna go ahead and throw it right here. Hammer it in. That trap's not going anywhere. I'm gonna rip this flagging off. I'll be able to find it just fine. There we go. Okay. What I'm using here is just a plain old, well, it's actually not a #1. I don't know. Diamond makes a size 21. They're not in business anymore. I don't know which one this is. The pan's so old. I'm gonna guess an old Victor though. But just a size, like a number 1 size dog, a trap, and this is a double jaw, so maybe it'll help hold them a little better. And it just angles in there just like that. I mean, it's not hitting my corn, so I have a little space there. Actually, what I'm gonna do too, I got some, so I might as well use it. Take some of my jam, pear jam. There we go. Grab that fork. Put a little bit right back there. I'm actually gonna take a little bit too and put it right underneath where my trap is gonna be. That way, if they're eating on that corn and they're not stepping on it, they might smell that jam and they'll be putting their paws and face down on top of it, and that might help get a better set on them too. I've never used leg holds, whether it's a coil or a long spring to trap rabbits. I've only ever used, sorry about that, I've only ever used conibears. I've tried snares with no luck, and everyone else catches a ton of them with snares. And then I've also used live catch traps. So, pear jam. That's basically it. Hopefully I'll be able to bring my camera tomorrow, get it on the charger and bring it out when I'm checking traps coming back from college. But that should basically do this set, and I guess I'll let you know if I have any luck. Thanks.